What's up everyone, V here, and today I'm going to be reviewing the McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse Superman from, Superman. Is it Superman or Superman Legacy? I feel like, does it have Legacy on it? I don't remember. But the new Superman movie that's coming out in like 2 days, or by the time this video comes out, might already be out. It might already be out right now. I don't be knowing release dates anymore. But yes, this is the James Gunn new DC Universe Superman movie. Really excited for it. And I will say, I know there's a lot of turmoil surrounding this movie because firing of Henry Cavill and the rebooting of the whole universe. And I will say, I did enjoy the Snyderverse, despite its heavy flaws. I just thought I enjoyed them. I loved Henry Cavill as Superman. But I will agree that universe needed to end. It was kind of a hot mess. It was kind of all over the place. I feel like when you have two alternate versions of the same movie, that's when your universe is kind of going shaky. But I was like, despite me enjoying a lot of it, it definitely needed like a stark reboot, like restart. And James Gunn has never let me down, even when he has, even like the one movie that like I'm not the Lart, like I don't passionately love, I still enjoy. Like, hot take, Guardians Volume 2, my least favorite of them all. But even then I still enjoy that movie, and I loved Suicide Squad. Never watched Peacemaker, but I've heard good things, and the trailers for this movie look hype. Really excited to see how this movie goes. I've heard nothing but great reviews, and definitely excited to get like what feels like a to its core Superman movie, which is exciting. And with the hype, I wanted a Superman figure. And then I remembered, sadly, McFarlane Toys still has the license until the end of the year, I believe. I have a very strong, mostly hate, but kind of hate-love relationship with McFarlane Toys, because almost every single figure I bought from them generally disappoints me. There's only like a handful that I think are genuinely decent, but then when you compare them to any other figure line I collect, they fall insanely short of even like those toy line's weaker figures. So it's like, but I do go in hoping that this figure will be the one that changes my mind. And God, man, they just lets me down every single time. But I saw some pics of the Superman figure, and some poses, I will say, made the figure look good. And I went in cautiously optimistic, and I even saw it in stores a couple times, and I was like, I kind of want it. And then I finally decided, I'm gonna bite the bullet. I want a Superman figure from the new movie. I'm going in not expecting to love it, because it's McFarlane Toys, and there's only one figure that I have, which I will show later in the vid, that I genuinely do think is a really great figure and really solid and actually isn't a disappointment. But yeah, but I went in loving it, and I can't lie, he's got his problems. This is also the best pose I could get. I'm not good at posing, as you can see. But before we get into it, we got the box. Standard multiverse fare. You got the comics in the back. DC Multiverse Superman. Superman 12 plus. I don't know why. Superman 22 moving parts. McFarlane Toys Multiverse. Whatever. Superman from Superman. From Superman. How many times did it say Superman? Then you got a really cool piece of artwork of, I do not know this actor's name. I want to say David Corsnet. That's the closest you're gonna get. I know it's David something. But looks really cool. It's also gonna be on the card. One thing I will say, these figures really disappoint me most of the time. but I love the cards. That's such a, I like that. It's such a fun little, cool little collector thingy. I hate when it's a picture of the figure on the card, but I love the cards. Speaking of the card, actually no, we're going to show the other accessories because I don't care for them as much. Comes with stand, DC, peg, got a peg, hole on the foot. Can get a minute. Oh, and the stand is no longer with us. It has gone into the pits of despair on my horridly set up shelf. Cause I've shown how my setup before, but this is just like a little cabinet thingy, and number one, I'm recording with my phone, and it's set up on a couple Black Series boxes with the drawer pulled out. So if something falls down there, it's fallen into a drawer that I can't reach into because there's a bunch of boxes because I'm recording. So yeah, it's gone forever. Then he has two like flying hands, which look alright. They are painted though. It's the thing, another thing that irks me. Especially I just showered, so just feeling the paint just gets my skin crawling. I hate that he paints everything. Like the skin tone. No, it's a big complaint with most of the figures, but especially like skin tone on the figures. Just mold it. Just mold it in the plastic. I know you can because I swear to God these pegs are molded in the plastic. Just mold it in the plastic. Why are we painting it? Because then it never looks good. It just looks like someone just ran a paintbrush on the figure, which literally is what they did, but like just bringing in a Black Series, this looks so much better when we just mold it in the skin tone than just paint it, because 9 times out of 10 they look pale as hell, especially if you're painting it over blue. I gotta hold back. I don't review a whole lot of McFarlane figures on the channel for obvious reasons, so this might be one of my more heated reviews, but I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed. Again, I'll get into it. But he also has card, which I do love. Love that artwork, too. Looks really clean. Superman on the back, little shot. Real name, Clark Kent. Both a son of the otherworldly Krypton, trademark, and planet Earth's small town, Smallville. There's a lot of small in that sentence. The metahuman superhero Superman, aka Metropolis's, trademark, Daily Planet, trademark, reporter Clark Kent, must now juggle both jobs and personas while under the most severe attack he's ever faced. If Lex Luthor, trademark, has his way, Superman will see the last of Earth, ... and Earthlings will rejoice. See, I love the cards, man. They never let me down. Unless it's a picture of the figure, then I'm a little disappointed. But yeah, bringing in Superman himself. He hasn't left. He's been here this whole time. But yeah, let's get him to stand. He's kind of leaning forward, which I don't like. You know, I could just whip out the stand, but like, I'm gonna try to run with this. The Superman suit itself, I feel like I have to talk about because, hiccup. I'm low-key not the largest fan of it. I love what it's trying to do. It's very comic booky. It's got the underwear on the outside. I love how bright and colorful it is. My biggest complaint, and I've seen a lot of people mention it, is it's way too baggy. Now, I get what he was trying to do, because I think there's an interview where he said, also, I just clocked now, if you hear a fan in the background, it's because I need the fan running or else I'll die from the heat that's been going on recently. Anyway, but I saw in an interview he said he didn't want the suit to have just these big fake muscles, and I get that. But I feel like they went too far in the other direction, where it's way too baggy. I feel like they could have found a good middle ground, where it's still skin tight, but doesn't have fake abs, and I feel like it's about to be an insane thing, but just bear with me. The CW Superman, not from Superman and Lois, the Supergirl Superman suit, I feel like is the perfect middle ground. Just give it higher budget, of course. But like, when you look at that suit, it's very obvious that there's not like insane muscle padding like the Superman and Lois suit. that suit manages to do what this suit's trying to do, but I feel like better because it's skin tight, but doesn't have just chiseled, ripped, muscular abs. And I feel like they should have done something more like that than the super baggy look. So I do hope he does get a new suit at the end of the movie or something that's a bit more skin tight, because like some shots of the suit will look so good, but then like other shots will just look really bad because of how baggy it is. And I feel like they could have done the middle ground a bit better, so hopefully they nail that. Anyway, to the figure at hand, because the figure does capture the suit decently well. I feel like, again, some of the bagginess might add drawbacks, but right off the bat, you can kind of tell he's not the most perfect proportioned figure, which is like every McFarlane figure ever. And my biggest complaint with this figure is not that it sucks, it's that this could have been a great figure. Like, there's so much here that could have worked beautifully, but there's just something about it that just doesn't work. I don't know if it's just the proportions, how he feels, something about him. It just takes away from it being a genuinely solid figure. I feel like the boots also curve way too much. I feel like they're a bit more straight like boots. Like I don't know what he was doing there. But yeah, I don't know what they were doing there. Is it I don't know anything about McFarlane, so I don't know how they be running, but yeah. Anyway, let's get to the head sculpt, because it's actually not too bad. Like, some of their head sculpts, dear God, that Idris Elba, abysmal. But, like, this actually genuinely looks like Superman from the movie. Granted, it looks like Superman if you just painted his face, which I don't really care for. Also, it squeaks like crazy. Also, another reason why I hate the paint is I feel like it could chip, and then you just have, like, a rough-looking face. I also think it's painted because he has removable faces, which I don't think this figure's face is removable. I think it's glued, but there is a version that you can remove faces, so it's probably why it's painted. But it looks good. Again, I'm just not the largest fan of the paint, but it does look like Superman, which is good. Then come to the chest logo. Looks clean. You got the nice texturing that I love on figures. Love when a figure has a nice texture like this. Again, I don't know. There's something about the torso. It looks better when the arms are up. There's just something about it. I don't know how to describe it. It might be like the shoulder area. I don't even know. Again, it might just be like the way the articulation works, but something about it just looks off to me personally. But this arm does have a lot of nice sculpt work, which looks cool. And he has this very gripping hand. Also, I hate these joints. I tried swapping a hand once on a Batman, and it just flew, and I never saw the hand again. But yeah, still looks good. One thing I will say is a really huge complaint for me is this arm, because it's like bent, and I kind of get what it was trying to do. Helps with like flying poses or like throwing a punch. But like when you him in a regular standing stance, it looks really weird. It's weird and bent, and he's got this very gripping hand. I can't lie, looks like he's about to jack it. Kinda wish his arm wasn't like that. But yeah, one thing I will say, McFarlane has these like weird rubber diaper-y things that a lot of people complain about, but I feel like it actually works really well here because he has like the like red underwear trouser thing on the outside, so the weird diaper articulation actually works really well here. And then the legs, nice. It's got some sculpt. I feel like this leg's shinier than this leg. I don't know why. Then come to the boots, and the boots are a little disappointing. I feel like they are too tight. I feel like they shouldn't be curving like that. And also, I feel like they should have texture. All the other red has texture, aside from that. But they don't have texture when I'm pretty sure in the movie they have texture. Don't know why. Also, here's the back of the figure. In case you're wondering, they do paint the belt all the way around, which is nice. And then the cape is a little plasticky. But I don't mind. I prefer plastic capes because I feel like fabric at this scale just is a pain to mess with. And you got the nice Superman logo on the back, which I love. And it's got a nice texture as well. Again, like, there's like, I don't even know how to describe it. But there's just something about the figure that just, I don't really care for a whole lot. I don't know. Again, I went in wanting to like it, but just, it did let me down. Anyway, articulation-wise, ball joint at the head. Look up. Or is it a dumb ball joint? I don't know. Rotates. Squeaky as hell. Got the weird butterfly arm joint, which moves up that far, down that far, rotates, whatever. Bicep, which their biceps are always really tight. Double jointed elbow. That joint, which is like, oh, you can move it up and down, then rotate it. And you can get. I don't like it. Diaphragm, and I think a joint down here maybe, which arches him not forward in the slightest, and then arches him back not in the slightest either. But he can rotate. He can kick kinda forward and kinda back. Be careful with those joints, because once I just full-on ripped the Flash's leg off. But he can do the splits. No rotation there. Double-jointed knee. Up and down. Rocker and rotation. And a toe joint. Also feel like their ankles always just never line up well on McFarlane figures, and it just makes it hard for them to stand. And the cape don't help either, and I feel like I just made things infinitely worse. We gotta bring in the stand. Oh wait, I forgot the stand fell into the abyss of nothing. Okay. Oh. It's gonna take like 10 minutes to try to get him to stand. There we go. He's at an angle. He's walking. It's like Bigfoot. Anyway, how big? How big is Superman? He is McFarlane, and they are 7-inch. Another thing I passionately hate, because most of the things I collect, in fact, everything I collect is 6-inch, so none of my DC figures are in scale, sadly. But, to see, here he is next to a couple 6-inch figures, a Marvel Legends Maximum Series Spidey with a different head, and a Black Series Clone Trooper. Couldn't find Cody. He's kind of under a pile of Iron Men because I was going to make an Iron Man video, and then I low-key couldn't find something that I wanted to find for that video, so until I find that video is postponed. Transformer. Oh wait, I guess I could bring this into Transformer and Studio Series Shockwave, and a Jazzwares Halo CE Master Chief, which does fit in scale with them a lot better. And for some DC comparisons, I'm going to whip out the ones that I feel like kind of match the vibe and the ones that I like. First off, since he's kind of in the same universe, Peacemaker. And since I always whip him out, Black Manta, because this is my second favorite. I'd say the second best one I own, but I think he's my favorite that I own just in general, because Black Manta looks so cool. Then here he is next to CW Flash. They butchered the hell out of him. I feel like the legs are long as hell. I don't know. I feel like he'd be better proportionate if they were 6-inch, because I feel like when it's 7-inch, they don't know how to do the proportions. They make these long as hell legs when the body, I feel like, matches that of like a 6-inch figure a bit better. I don't know. Anyway. Who was the other guy I was gonna grab? Oh yeah. And Blue Beetle, another one that I do like, and also might be in the same universe. And finally, here he is next to Pattinson Batman. A pretty cool figure, not my favorite. What I do say, here's the one I consider the best out of the ones that I own, because it actually, also another thing, a lot of McFarlane figures feel like a flimsy mess. This figure actually feels decent, isn't a flimsy mess. Actually is proportionate and fun to pose. This random Batman, I bought him because I was like, oh my god, it's Batman, but he doesn't have the mouth exposed. I like fully masked characters. I love them. And Batman was always kind of there, but I always kind of hated the mouth being exposed. If a Batman has its mouth covered, I find it infinitely cooler. And I saw that and I was like, that looks really cool. I'm going to buy it. So yeah. And that figure actually genuinely is really good. Maybe it's the live action figures. I don't know. But yeah. Here's an idea of what the Superman might look like with a Batman. Everyone's saying they're going to put Pattinson with him. They're not. They don't match each other's vibes at all. They're going to go with something very... I really do hope they go gray and blue, because we've never actually properly gotten that. Anyway. That is my super review. I hate myself. Anyway, do I recommend this figure? There are multiple versions of this figure. There's a battle damage, and then there's the one with the removable faces and Crypto with a fabric cape. And I will say, maybe it's mine came a bit wonky in the box. But I can't fully recommend this figure. If you do like the McFarlane figures, and you're hyped for the Superman and want a Superman from the movie, then I 100% recommend it. But I can't lie. I was disappointed by this figure. I was really hoping to love it, even though I know my thoughts on McFarlane figures, and I know 9 times out of 10, I don't really care for them. But I was really hoping maybe this one will be different. Especially with this Batman. The Batman's cool. And honestly, Batman from the Batman and Riddler, I did like those figures a lot. I even made videos on them. I think I did Dr. Fate as a video as well. I never did Black Manta, though. Anyway, getting sidetracked. I really wanted to. I really wanted to love this figure, but it disappointed me. I'd give it like a 5 out of 10, maybe 5, 6 out of 10. Like, I'll probably mess with it a little bit when the movie comes out, but then after, it's probably going to be put in my bag with the rest of my McFarlane figures, and then it's going to be sitting in a closet for the rest of time. Which again is unfortunate, because I really wanted to like this figure, and I really wanted a cool figure of Superman from this movie. But I guess I'm going to have to either buy the figure arts. I saw NECA was teasing a figure, and I don't know where that ever went. Maybe I'll get that if it ever gets released. But yeah. Can't lie, I'm disappointed. That being said, really hyped for the Superman movie. Anyway, like, subscribe, check out my previous reviews. Not too many DC figures. I was looking at a couple Mafex DC figures, though, and I was like, my wallet can't handle it right now, but, like, oh, I do kind of want the Mafex, the Batman, and Batfleck from Justice League. Oh. Anyway. Yeah, that's it. Instagram's MoonetXO. Don't really post there much, but I sometimes post, and it's sometimes music related. But yeah, that's about it. Buy it at your own risk, I'll say. But yeah, can't lie, kinda really glad Mattel's getting the license back. Now those Mattel figures, they weren't gems either, but they were at least 6-inch scale, 9 times out of 10 proportionate. And also, they haven't had the license, and like almost, dear God, I want to say like 8 years or something. Maybe their figures have gotten infinitely better. And even if they haven't, oh well, I can't lie. It's not like I'll, unless they're like somehow like infinitely worse than McFarlane. But even then, I still mess with the figures from the Flash from time to time. But yeah. Anyway, that's my thoughts. Don't crucify me. Anyway, hopefully you have a wonderful day. Hopefully you have a super day. One could even say a fantastic day. You know, like the other movie coming out soon, which I would love to review the figures of, if I could find them. Anyway, yeah, anyway. Peace.